Good morning, colleagues. Apologies, my video camera does not work. But the next speakers, we have a joint presentation from lecturer Brighton Mupangavanhu and Etienne Olivier from the law faculty. You may share your screen.
Right. Thank you very much. I thought let me just show myself first, and then I will switch off the camera. Greetings, everybody. Thank you, CICT team, for always your support. And Caroline, Norina, you guys have been fantastic. You have been a great help. Thank you very much for all the support that you give us. Right, I speak here today representing my colleague, Dr. Olivier, who I teach with. And so I will be speaking on the blended learning interventions that we have introduced in law of payment instruments, which is a third year LLB as module. Of course, I think I need to explain that we have had curriculum development with the LLB throughout the country, and the effect of that is with respect to as law of payment instruments is that in the new LLB curriculum, it will be now called commercial transactions law, and we will be introducing more of the modern aspects of payment. So I will just touch on what we deal with. So I'm trying to share my presentation here. As let me see if I will come right. Okay, let me just see. Okay, wonderful. So, well, that's me over there. As let me just move away from that. Now, so we will look at what this module is about. I will just introduce to you what this module is about, what it covers. I'll talk about how our site is organized and the things that we do. I realize we don't have time, so there are things that I'll have to cut out. So this is law of payment instruments. And like I said, as from 2023, it will be called commercial transactions law, but it will be dealing with marketplace relationships, the law that regulates the issues of payments. And so just to give you a sense of what we talk about. So we talk about methods of payments, not just limited to banking law. We talk about methods of payment with the bank as an intermediary of payments, which is a bank, which is a relationship with a customer providing credit, which is why we will talk about credit law. And we will talk about fintech law, financial technology introduced in financial institutions and with the work that they do. So we deal with issues such as credit transfers, that's EFTs, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies, regulatory issues to do with mobile payments, consumer banking, smart contracts, peer-to-peer as lending, financial sector as regulation, including some of you might have heard about the Twin Peak model of regulation. And I don't want to get into that, issues of consumer justice within the financial services industry. And there are various laws that we deal with. I will not get into that because I don't have time for that. So let me get into, I must be honest with you, the last 2 years have seen a lot of growth for all of us, I suppose. But I think that I must say that through the intervention of CICT team and some colleagues in our faculty, such as, for example, you know, the teaching and learning specialists, they've really helped us to grow and and outgrow the tendencies of dumping stuff on the site. So we used to dump stuff on the site. And I was now guided, and I was just eager to see how we have to organize our work. So at least now I have introduced organizing work into lecture 1, lecture 2, up to the last lecture, so that students can have an idea of what is to come. So we introduce the module, we tell students what the module is about, and we structure it as using lessons, so that we don't just dump information on a Canva, but we are more intentional about what we are doing, and so that it's easier for students to navigate the information. So this is how we organize our work. And at least when a student, before even the lecture starts, a student has an idea of what to expect. Even before they access the study guide, they have an idea of really a brief, I mean in brief, what the module is about. So we structure it this way. So as for example, when it comes to introducing a topic, so what we do is we try to introduce, to provide information before the lectures. So we give students an idea of what each topic is about. So you can see how I have outlined it here. And you will see as well, if you go to another page, you will see we give a bit of an introduction, outline of what is to come. And it's a pity that I did not capture this very well, but even learning outcomes, we can tell students that by end of this topic, you should, it's among other things, be able to do the following. So even before the students come for the lecture, they are aware of what we will cover. Now we are trying to move away from having to be preaching and lecturing to the students a lot during as lecture time, but we're trying to kind of be cognizant of who we are. We are lawyers. We should teach students how to engage, how to argue, how to present arguments, how to accept a different point of view. And so for law students, engagement is very important. And so we try to it's help students to prepare. And when we come to class, then it is more about engagement. I must be honest, there is something that we are doing at the moment. If I can just explain that, we have often recorded lectures. After recording lectures, we then post. But we realize that most of our students, I mean, we are churning out students who have got excellent grades, but when they go out to the world, they can't engage, because most of the times, even at home, they spend time in their rooms alone. Learning is done online. And so we are trying to encourage them to come to as class. So what we want to try to do is probably to have some short recordings done prior, and to then leave time when they come to attend, that it becomes an interaction, an engagement, just to ensure that they don't lack on these important skills. I wanted to talk about how we do assignments. Our assignments, because they are mostly, so we give tests under assignments. So we use the assignment tool to give tests. And we realized that because of our environment, could you advise me how much time am I left with?
You have 2 more minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Now, we have noted that because these are open assessments, so we have even changed the type of assessments that we give. We are not going to give a discussion, whatever only, but we will give assignments which will enable students to engage because they have more time. I mean, if they have about 5 hours to write or more, it should be questions which test high order thinking skills, and so we have improved on that. And I wish I had time to talk about the challenges that or the lessons that we have picked up along the as way, how we need to do that going forward, because it looks like we can't do away with what COVID has taught us. There's been its accelerated use of the digital platform. How do we keep what we have gained? How do we at least prepare students for an in-person contact again? So these are the kind of thinking. And how do we continue with blended learning going forward? I think let me pause now because I think my time is up.